So this video will take us through kind of what is CBT, how does CBT work, and what to expect from CBT. The best way to demonstrate that is we're going to think of just a made up situation. So the situation that I'm just going to make up is that a person walks down the street and gets ignored by someone they know. Okay, so that's the situation that we're in. So I'm just going to underline that so we know that's the situation. Okay. Then what I'm going to actually think about is all the possible perspectives and thoughts that someone could have about this situation. Okay, so in this video, I'm just going to probably take 2 to 3 different thoughts, and there probably would be a lot more thoughts as well, but just to really demonstrate CBT, for you to understand about what CBT is. So one thought that we could have would be, why did they ignore me? What have I done wrong? Okay, so let's just put, what have I done wrong? Okay. Okay. So that's one thought we could have. Another thought, a different perspective could be, maybe they didn't see me. See me. I'm thinking of something else. Could be that maybe they are preoccupied with something else. It could be that they did see you, but they were on the phone, or they were, deep in thought with something else. So what we'll do, we'll stick to these three different thoughts. Okay. So let's start with the first one. And what we'll do is we'll go through kind of the CBT cycle for each of these different thoughts. Okay, so first of all, we can identify that the thought is, what have I done wrong? That's the first one. Okay. As we already know, thoughts are connected to our emotions and make us feel a certain way. So I'm just going to put feelings here. And with our emotions, it's normally a one word. So it's normally angry, sad, happy, calm, neutral, anxious as an emotion, frustrated. Okay. So we need to kind of just pick some one word emotions really that thought may trigger. So what have I done wrong? That could possibly make the person feel anxious, possibly quite sad as well, and maybe some other emotions, but we'll stick to those two at the moment. Okay. Now, we may start to see some signs of the emotions within our body. So if we're anxious and sad, we may feel my chest might be quite tight. My heart rate might start getting high. And if I'm sad, I may start to kind of feel that butterflies in my tummy, maybe, or feel quite lethargic, maybe. Okay. So this is individual for everybody. These are just examples. Okay. So as a result of this, I'm going to behave in a certain way. So there's going to be things that I do or don't do in order to cope with this. Okay. So possibility of what this person might do, how they may behave. It could be that they may isolate themselves from people. They may start to really overthink this a lot. So it could be that they just keep going round in the scenario in the head about what have I done wrong, going through different scenarios about what the possibilities, what they have done wrong. Um, okay. It could be that I become quite irritable with friends and family when I'm feeling this way. And it could be that I just lack motivation to do anything, especially if it's affecting my mood as well. So I'm isolating myself and I'm kind of just sitting on the sofa or whatever. I'm not really doing an awful lot. Okay. So it's really impacted their outcomes there, hasn't it? The consequences for the person, this particular thought. Okay. So if we take that second thought of maybe they didn't see me, so let's do the outcomes for that. So the thought, okay, so the thought is maybe they didn't see me. And if we can identify what emotions we may feel as a result of that thought. So for me, I think I'll just be neutral, maybe calm, not really any kind of changes with my emotions at that point. Um, physically, again, so just quite neutral, no significant kind of physical symptoms that I can identify, just feeling normal, calm, neutral. Behaviours, how might this impact somebody's behaviour? Well, it could be that I just carry on with my day. Oh, with my day. I might even think about messaging the person, finding out if, if they're okay. Or possibly message them to let them know that I've seen them, but they didn't see me. Okay. So possibly then, if we're messaging someone, it could be someone we've not really spoken to for a while. So it could kind of create a bit of a conversation with that person. So that leads to quite a nice positive outcome because you ended up catching up with a friend that you've not probably seen for a long time or spoken to for a long time. And then you've just kind of got back in touch with them there. Okay. So we're going to take thought number 3. So maybe they are preoccupied with something else. So thought 3. Okay, so maybe they're preoccupied with something else. Okay, so if we're thinking about an emotion attached onto this then, so feelings be could identify some emotion. So maybe we could be quite calm, neutral, maybe a little bit apprehensive, maybe a little bit um worried about them, maybe a little bit concerned that maybe there's something going on with them or they're, hoping, thinking about hoping they're okay. Um, physically, where we feel that. So we may feel that within our body somewhere. So the apprehension it might be that uh, maybe we get, we do feel that in our body somewhere, maybe some butterflies in our tummy. But mostly quite neutral and calm, maybe. Okay. Behaviours. So we could have a bit, consequence of this would be that I then message should check. Oh, okay. And then continue with my daily activities. Okay. Okay, so we've got a thought there. Just going to underline that. We've got a thought here. And these are just examples of some thoughts. They could possibly be a lot more thoughts we could have about this scenario. Okay. So what we notice here is that actually the situation here hasn't changed. The situation has stayed exactly the same. Okay. So what has changed is our perspective on that situation. Okay. And looking at the different perspectives and thoughts we can have about this really impacts how we're feeling and the consequences for the person as well in terms of outcomes. Okay. So, what we can do in CBT is really kind of start to slow this process down. That actually, if I am feeling sad and anxious, what is it? What's the thought that I'm having that's causing this emotion? Okay. And then taking a step back and thinking about different perspectives we can have on that situation. Okay. So there's three different examples here that we could have on that situation, and there is many more as well. It's really about opening your mind up that thoughts aren't necessarily facts. Okay. That sometimes our thoughts won't be accurate or they'll only be partially accurate. But just making those connections between our thoughts, our feelings, and the outcome of those thoughts as well. Okay. So really the message here is that if we can learn to take a step back and think about different perspectives of a scenario, we can have different outcomes for us.